Please join me in welcoming Jessica Buchanan.
The year was 2011, and the landmine staff training I had given to our Southern Somali office that October day had gone very well. My job as a humanitarian aid worker was to spread the word throughout the region about landmine safety. You see, if I could stop just one curious kid from picking up an explosive and throwing it, then maybe I could prevent countless other children from losing a hand or an eye or from being severely burned. Knowing that I'd protected at least one child fueled my heart to keep moving forward to help thousands more. So after the training, I loaded back into our armed convoy and headed north. But minutes after settling in for the ride back home, a Land Cruiser roared up on our right, slammed on its brakes, and blocked us. I thought, what a jerk. Who drives like that? And then it became very clear who drives like that. Somali men, armed with AK-47s, surrounded our SUVs, screaming and banging on the windows with the butts of their guns. One of them jumped into the back seat, held an AK to my head, and screamed at the driver, "Drive!" And that's exactly what we did for hours and hours. And as we headed into the vast Somali desert, one thing became infinitely clear. However this played out, my life, as I knew it, would be forever changed. On the night of the abduction, I was sure that I'd heard a woman's voice behind me. But when I turned around, instead, I came face to face with a small boy. He was draped in ammunition, holding an AK. He was just 11 years old, an apprentice, learning the family business of kidnapping and ransom. As I looked into his eyes, I felt profound sadness that the very people I was there to help were now the ones holding me captive. And so it began. Life as a hostage with a $45 million ransom on my head. From the start, these land pirates ruled by intimidation. There were mock executions, the screaming and the beatings. Their primary means was dominance. We must have moved locations at least 50 times, and I had to beg for the most basic things like leaving my mat to use the toilet, which was just a bush out in the desert. Halfway through the ordeal, I was sitting in solitary confinement, gazing up at the stars, when one in particular caught my eye because it just twinkled so brightly. As I gazed at this star, I could feel my mother, who I'd lost the year before. I felt her love wrap around me, giving me strength. I needed that strength to carry me through these most impossible odds. And by day 92, I had not only run out of my thyroid medication, but I was well on my way to a kidney infection. That night, I stood up on my mat and said, "Toilet," but not a single pirate stirred. Unable to wait, I grabbed my pen light so they could see that I wasn't trying to escape. Moments after returning to my mat, the pirate, sleeping just inches from my head, jumped up and started screaming, and his screams were quickly silenced by the eruption of automatic gunfire. While it felt like forever, within minutes, the battle was over. All 9 pirates were dead. With the blanket over my head, I felt hands tugging at my arms and my legs, and I started kicking back in self-defense until I heard very quickly, "Jessica, it's all right. We're here. We're the American military. You're safe now. We're going to take you home." And then these Navy SEALs did something even more extraordinary. As they surrounded me and covered me, acting as a human shield to protect me until the helicopters came in to lift us to safety. Once in flight, one of the soldiers quietly came over to me, got down on his knees, and simply handed me a folded American flag and said, "Welcome home, Jessica." At long last, I was safe. So safe that the tears that I'd held back for 3 months were now finally free as well. Each drop full of gratitude. If I've learned one thing about the U.S. Navy SEALs and what it means to be an American, it's that having this elite team swoop in and rescue you is not a given. It's a gift. And not only did the team that saved me give me my life back, but they gave me a second chance to reunite with my husband and to have 2 beautiful children. They also gifted me with the opportunity to sing their praises. Sing the praises of these unsung heroes to anyone who will listen. And while the team that rescued me that night all came back safely, the reality is not everyone does. And the families they leave behind desperately need our support. So, however we're able tonight, let's show our gratitude for these wounded and fallen soldiers and their families. Just like they surrounded me, please let's surround them with our heartfelt love by pledging our support. God bless you. God bless America.